Alright guys, we are back with another episode. Fresh off of a Tampa mega ride. I appreciate everyone that showed love last week to my mega ride video. It was awesome to see the support. Seemed like 99.9% of the people enjoyed that video, with the 0.01% being, you know, the people that don't like wheelies. Also, if I met you in Tampa, man, I don't remember everyone's names, but the energy was good. It was nice meeting all of you. Thank you, for showing love. Now this week, as I said a couple weeks ago, we are going to do a proper review of this bike, the Rerode R1. I brought this bike to Tampa. I have 132 miles on this bike. All 132 miles were put on in Tampa. So I have a good feel for what this bike is. And I love this bike so much that I'm definitely going to be selling my XXX. I love that bike, but it's only because, like I said before, I'm trying to save up for a van. And after putting 100 miles on this bike, it's very clear to me that this is my number one. So, lots of good things to say. Anywho, last week before I went to Tampa, I actually unboxed this bike. Ever since I sold my Light Bee, I had been missing the feeling of that bike, and I finally got it back, and I'm so pumped. I never wanted to sell my Light Bee. I only did it so that I could get the Ultra, and while the Ultra is a great bike, love the platform, I just missed the smaller bike, and I got the XXX, and it felt good being on a smaller platform. Now this one feels even better because it's small, powerful, but smooth. As far as range goes, like real testing range, I rode with a couple of guys, one who had a 60 volt 40 amp hour Light Bee battery, and another guy who has an MX4. Now when we would come back from rides, the Rerode had about 8 to 9% more than the Light Bee did with the 40 amp hour battery, but had less than the MX4. So hopefully that gives you kind of like a scope of the range. The brakes are the only thing that I absolutely hate about this bike. Are they horrible? Yeah, pretty much. Like, they're stock brakes. If you rode any one of these type of bikes, the stock brakes normally have to go. Thankfully, I have some LHTs from Lewis coming hopefully soon that I'm going to throw on, so the brake situation will be solved. Oh, there's the pack. Oh, yeah. What's up, man? How you doing? I'm good. Yo, what's up, man? You know, the thing is like, if you have one of these bikes, I think it's important that you tap in with your community, man. Like, I've been riding with these boys for a long time now, but I know when I first started, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I want to like introduce myself or even ask if I can film them and all that stuff. Now these are just the boys, you know? It's like, you have this bike, you can ride with the e-bikes, you can ride with the dirt bikes, you can go with the pedal bikes. That's what makes these little e-motos so versatile. Gotta love it, man, gotta love it. Savannah Banana. Oh, that's that like for fun league. They're out here. It's cold, but a beautiful day. And for me, what makes the Rerode so special is that it feels like an upgraded Light Bee right out of the box. It feels smooth. It feels like a quality build. It reminds me of when I bought my Ultra Bee and I unboxed it. Like, okay, you get everything that you want right away. I don't need to upgrade the bars on these because it already has riser bars. I don't need direct mount stem because it already has that. It has a 72 volt battery. The tune is perfectly smooth. I don't need a controller or a battery. And I feel like it doesn't really matter how good this bike is, because there's an entire community that already has this perceived notion that Sur-Ron is the best, or Talaria is the best, or E-Ride is the best. Like, where is the space for this? For me, for the value that you're getting, this has to be the number one. But without people to try it out, to experience it for themselves, I think they'll be a little bit narrow-minded and just stick to what they know. But if you're out there and you've been considering a change, I'm telling you, take a gamble, ride the Rerode. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. I've rode all these bikes, all of them, literally XXX E-Ride. I've rode every single bike in this space with the exception of a Stark Varg. All right, I feel like we've gotten to the point of the ride where you can enjoy a little bit of a break from me yapping and some of the cool tricks here, so enjoy this.
Let a nigga get inside. Gotta wear a seatbelt when you ride. I'm keeping my Jimmy on tight. I can count that shit with no eye. You kill my partner, we ride. Little nigga, we ain't let shit slide. Y'all niggas ain't letting shit die. Yeah. Hit a nigga bitch outside. Then I put up the V-Live. And we had them sticks outside. Drinking on lean, I'm tired. Y'all niggas can't join my live. I ain't giving no high five. Y'all niggas fucking around and be wide. Yeah. Drop head phantom on me. Whole lot of hundreds on me. Whole lot of rubber bands, nigga. Fuck a rubber band, nigga. Whole book bad me. 10 M's, yes, sir, ski. Whole lot of hoes, they ski. Cocaine white like tea. LA hoes on deck. 30 rounds hanging out the tech. Y'all niggas rookies, I'm a vet. Put a pee hole through your neck. I just wanna talk about a check. Made a quarter ticket about a vet. Savage still popping them sets. We were charging 10 for a verse. And I want 10 for a verse. Fuck that, nigga want 10 times 10 for a verse. 10 times 10 in your hearse. I don't go to church, I curse. I ain't tryna kiss that bitch, little bitch. I'ma put it on your chin when I burst. Hit your main bitch, yes, sir, ski. Doing donuts in the city.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
Oh, no! No! Oh, no. Oh! What the What makes the pedal bikes exciting is that they can cut on a dime. So it's not like, you know, dirt bikes are these. Like, it's when they want to swerve something, it's like the most aggressive. These boys doing like 90-degree swerves. I don't know how they stay up. We got too many bikes. You can never have. Oh! Damn. I want to cover some features that I really like about this bike because it feels like the Rerode is the Light Bee 2.0 that we've all been wanting but never got from Sur-Ron. And we'll just work our way from the rear to the front. Right away you notice the swing arm, very Ultra Bee-esque. And then you have your rotor cover here. Only 203 millimeter rotors. I would upgrade to something beefier. The good news is that these hubs are actually Sur-Ron Light Bee hubs, so any rotors that fit on the Light Bee will fit on the Rerode. The great thing about this shock, it's actually a 550 spring here, and then the linkages are underneath. It looks very similar to how the Light Bee linkage looks. You have your triangle, you have your linkage here. Now for the mid part of this bike, you can see that there's this interesting design gap here. It looks very reminiscent of like a Talaria MX4, this little angular shape here. Open up here, you'll see that the battery has the same connector as the Talaria connector. The Rerode throttle is very smooth, just like the Light Bee. If you're coming from a Light Bee, this will feel very familiar to you. On the left hand side, we have this display. Now this also looks like a Sur-Ron display, except for this one a little bit beefier. This one you can program. If you hold the up button here, you get into your menus. You can change your gear ratio, your wheel size. You can change the eco and the sport mode, like top speed, if you want to limit on that. You have your regen and your version type. So it's nice that you can come in here and mess around with that. For the front end, we have these fast ace forks. The Rerode actually comes with riser bars and a direct mount stem here. When we think about the top bikes in this space of this size e-moto, we have the Light Bee, MX4, E-Ride Pro, and now we have the R1. And what are the differences as far as power goes? When we think of the top one, the most power that you can get in this class would probably be the E-Ride Pro, and that's a 72 volt, 40 amp hour. It's a 12 kilowatt peak. The MX4, 60 volt, 45 amp hour, and that has an 8 kilowatt peak. And then we have our Light Bee, that's a 60 volt, 40 amp hour, and that's only 6 kilowatt peak. Well, what about the R1? The R1 is a 72 volt, 35 amp hour, 8 kilowatt peak. So in terms of power out of the box, this ranks number 2. So it's more powerful than the Sur-Ron and the Talaria, but what about the weight? Are you sacrificing on that? Well, the weight of a Light Bee is around 125 pounds. The weight of an MX4, it's heavy, 145 pounds. And then we have our Rerode Pros that are sitting at 139 pounds, while the R1 sits at 130 pounds. So just 5 pounds heavier than a Light Bee. It's the second lightest in its class. And I know that a lot of people's favorite thing to talk about is, well, how fast does it go? Again, we'll compare the other models. We have your Rerode Pro that tops out around 60 miles an hour. You have your R1 coming in at second place at 55 miles an hour. You have your MX4 around 53 miles an hour. And then your slowest in this class would be the Light Bee, sitting around 47 to 50, depending on what model you have. So the second fastest, the second lightest, the second most powerful? I think this thing measures up to the best of them. So that was it for the details for now. By the end of this video, I will tell you where and how to buy this thing, and also how much it is. So just wait till the end for that. Oh, I forgot to show this too. The little USB plug here, if I open it up, show that on camera. It has a standard USB-A port, but it also has a USB-C port. A little upgraded USB. So yeah, man, if I could explain the Rerode or talk about what this feels like a Light Bee that has a controller and a 72 volt battery. It's like, where does this bike fit in? For me, this has to be probably the number one option, and let me tell you why. Because this bike has so much power, it has upgrades right out of the box, and not only that, wait for it, it's less than the price of a XXX ship from Lunicycle. You heard that right, less. This bike is only $3,449, including shipping. I'll put up a message here from the dealer that I used on Alibaba. And the reason why I went through Alibaba is because Rerode doesn't have US dealers yet. And that actually helps all of us that are in this market of buying bikes, because you don't have to worry about the dealer markup. And so for the first time ever, I get to publicly announce my dealer for bikes, which is Koolab Technology. And I'll put a link in the description of this video so that you can contact Koolab to order this bike. Again, I don't get anything if you buy one of these. I don't have like some type of commission or anything like that. I just seriously know of ways to save people money, and I want to get more people on these bikes. And it's like, if I can save you $1,000, like, why wouldn't I share that with you? What we're gonna do, we're gonna measure our 0 to 30 time, our top speed, and our quarter mile time. I'll only do one run. I'll be looking at it on here too, but I think I accidentally messed up like the speedometer gear ratio, so I don't know if this is accurate, but the GPS app should be a little bit more accurate. So we got this thing reset. 1, 2, 3. All right, here we go. See what this thing's got. Well, that was a bit fun. So we did hit 55, which is what the website says. Our GPS says that. I had to watch the footage back to see if the speedometer said 55, but our GPS says 55. Our 0 to 30 was in 4.5 seconds. So yeah, we actually do get a true 55 mile an hour top speed. So yeah, that was the last thing that I had to do for this review. Like I said, I'll be making more videos about this bike. I'll do a range test, I'm sure, in the future, but I'm telling you guys, make room for an R1, dude. This bike is awesome. Okay, well, that was all that I have for you guys this week. I will see you guys next week.